morning, everyone. Had a beautiful morning in Listowel, lads. So we're kind of gone to every 2 weeks now for the classes or the little lives, you know, like I wouldn't mind doing them every week. If people have any ideas or topics that they'd like discussed or anything like that, don't be afraid to send in the you know, any ideas or anything like that, you know. But today I was going to focus on seaside planting or coastal planting. You know, as I mentioned before, when we were planting pots, like an awful lot of our customer base is about like, you know, Ballyduff, Ballyhigh, Ballybunion, Tarbert, you know, all along that coastal region is our catchment area for customers, you know. So I was just going to run through what I'd say the top 10 plants for coastal planting. Now, in fairness, when I was going around, it could be top 20 easily. Because obviously, I suppose a lot of our plants are suitable for coastal regions. A few things to keep in mind when coastal planting is most important is to get a shelter established firstly. You know, if you're very, very exposed to the sea, you'd need a band of hedging first before you can put in the nice, more decorative planting. You know, there's a lot of like whitethorn or Griselinia, Escalonia, those hedging, Olearia, are extremely good by the coast. Also, fuchsia is an excellent hedge. I have a fuchsia here. In Fuchsia Ricotonia, which is our native one. But this one here, Fuchsia Mrs. Papa, is extremely, almost identical to our native one, except the leaves are much larger. Fuchsia grow really, really well by the sea, and they're deciduous. Okay, they lose their leaves for the winter, but they reward with the amount of flowers throughout the summer. So once you get your shelter established, you know, and there will be a list of trees as well available like that would do well in coastal regions, you know, but a lot of our more native planting would do better by the sea. So once you have that shelter established, really, you know, you have to take into consideration obviously wind, salt, you know, and that sort of exposure. Generally, plants with a grey foliage or a woolly foliage like this Nepeta or this angel wings, or with grey foliage, does very well by the sea. It's funny, I suppose the adaptations of plants are amazing because they even look like they do well by the coast for some reason. I suppose the grey foliage makes it like that. Okay, so that's one characteristic of plants that do well by the sea, is grey foliage. Another thing is plants with thorns. Okay, I might run out and get one in a minute actually, because it's a very good plant. A berberis, there's a evergreen deciduous berberis. Very, very good. They vary from very, very tiny dwarf plants to very, very big plants, great in a border, or again you could even get a hedging of berberis established, you know. They're very good. So the grey foliage and any plant with thorns are generally very good by the sea, which would include roses, you know, and they shouldn't be underestimated for coastal planting either. And plants do acclimatise by the sea as well, you know. Hebes in general, okay, so this is a Hebe rhubarb and custard here. There you go, fabulous, low growing plant, 2 to 3 foot high, and the same spread. But there's lots and lots of varieties of Hebes. This pink one here in particular wouldn't be as hardy by the sea in the first year, okay, so it will die back slightly in the winter, and all the new growth will come from the centre every year, you know, and eventually, you know, after 2 or 3 years it will have acclimatised to your location. The larger Hebes and the ones without pink variegation are good to go with the sea straight away. They'll thrive away. We have Hebe elliptica variegata, which is lovely purple flowers. This is pink flowers. We have Hebe Joan Mac, fabulous dark maroon coloured foliage. So I only have one Hebe as my top 10, but like there's probably 20 or 30 varieties. Okay, all different heights and sizes. Two herbs that do extremely well. Most herbs would do okay by the sea anyway, but two herbs that just happen to be very good plants by the seaside are lavender. Okay, this is a French lavender. Beautiful fragrance, used medicinally, obviously, of course, and you know the French lavender by the little wings on top, and extremely good by coastal. But again, it has that extra coating on the leaves. You can almost feel that it's good by the sea. Again, rosemary. This is Rosmarinus prostratus because it grows across rather than high, so it's kind of a ground cover one. And again, what I said about the grey foliage, all the underside of rosemary leaves and all the stem is all that grey kind of a coating, and any waxy coating as well. And rosemary has a waxy coating on its leaves. Beautiful blue flowers, and does excellent by the seaside. I'm saving the best for last, to be honest with you, because it's just a super plant on the way. This one here, this is a salvia. Again, all salvias would be good. There's blue ones and red ones, red and white ones in this range. Then there's lots of different ones that have a slightly different growth habit. All flower for the summer, mostly deciduous, very extremely fragrant, and just bursting with buds at the moment. Again, it grows quite like a fuchsia, if I had to say, growth habit wise. Does extremely well, dies down a bit for the winter, loses its leaves, and comes back bigger and stronger again for next year. Okay, then hydrangea. Okay, do extremely well by the seaside. Okay, this fabulous one here. I suppose I should have got a blue one for the seaside, but they come. This is a mop head. Which means that it's a big mop of flowers on top. Okay, so these come in, they don't actually come in red, people call them red, but they're very, very deep pink, light pink, blue and white. And for a blue hydrangea, you have to have acid soil, which is lime-free soil, okay? And if you don't have, they will revert back to pink over time. So all hydrangeas, these mop heads, lace caps, hydrangea panculata, the climbing hydrangea, all do extremely well by the sea, okay? And then I suppose my little favourite, which cannot be underestimated, obviously it does really well by the sea because it's called Eryngian sea breeze, okay? This is extremely tough plant, keeps its foliage all year, flowers in the summer, just about to flower now. We'll put up a picture later of one we have grown here in the garden centre for the last 3 years. Very rewarding plant, commonly known as fleabane. People probably know it as that. But one of these will cover at least a square metre of your garden. It stays very low, but fantastic for flowering. Okay, so look, that would be a run through my top 10 seaside plants. But what you call it, we have a few things here that are kind of coastal, little beach bag, sun hats, flip-flops, little kids baseball caps and stuff like that. Fabulous coasters here with a nautical theme, candles with a nautical theme, just to kind of set the scene, guys, you know. And hopefully we'll all be heading off to the beach shortly, as the forecast is generally good at the moment. Our little boat display here, and behind me here we have a door wreath, a summer door wreath, made up with I suppose just happens to be nautical kind of colours. Okay, so I added just to make it more nautical for the day that's in it, I added some little seahorses to it. Okay, so in 2 weeks time I was going to do a step-by-step on how to do your own door wreath at home. We're selling all the bases, all the little bits and pieces for them. We have a big stock in store. So in 2 weeks time, if you wanted to do the step-by-step kind of class following me live, call in the meantime, pick up a few bits, and we'll get started, you know. any one of the girls here will be able to advise you on maybe colour themes or designs and stuff like that. Or in the meantime, if you had a look at door wreath ideas, summer door wreath ideas on Pinterest, and took a few screenshots, we'd be able to pick out something to suit your taste. Okay, so that's it kind of from the seaside plans for today. And the sun is out now, so have a fantastic bank holiday weekend, and we'll see you all soon.